Hey folks, in today's video I'm going to show you the user interface in Anstrex and some of the basic functionality that the platform provides. This video will be very brief. It will be an introductory video and we'll keep it short and sweet. So without much further ado, let's log in and see what the user interface looks like. So when you log in, and assuming that you don't have any filters or search results saved from your previous sessions, what you will see on the screen is the latest ads or creatives on the top of your screen. First, let's look at one of these creative units and see what kind of information is available on the first glance. You will see two different dates on the top. The first date being the date that this creative was first seen, and the second date being the date last seen. As you can see, in this case, this ad being quite new, both the dates are same. Below that, you will see, of course, the image that was used in the creative. You can click on this image and you will get a full resolution version of that image on your screen. On this particular pop-up, you will see three different options at the bottom. These options allow you to do a reverse image search on three different search engines, Bing, TinEye, and Google, respectively. And when you click on any of these links, it will take you to the search engines page and try to find a visually similar looking image using the reverse image search feature of that particular search engine. This feature comes in pretty handy if you're trying to find alternative images that you would like to use in your campaign. Just to give you an example, let's click on one of these links here. I'm going to click on Bing, and what it will do is open a search page on Bing and try to locate visually similar images. As you can see on the right hand pane, you see all the images that Bing identified as visually similar looking compared to the one on the left. I'm going to close this pop-up now, and we'll continue to look at this ad unit. So below the image, you of course have the text that was used in the creative, along with a subtext which is sometimes used. It could be the brand name, or it could be a short description in some cases. It depends on the ad network. Below the title and the subtitle, you will see two different numbers. The first one being the ad strength, and the second one is called ad gravity. These are the two numbers that we internally assign to each creative. The ad strength number being the strength of the ad. It is calculated using factors such as how frequently the ad has been seen, how long it has been running. High ad strength usually means that the ad has done pretty well. Ad gravity is a similar parameter. It only calculates or it has a finite value only if the ad has been running in the last few weeks. So this is a parameter that you would use for finding creatives that have been running in the recent few weeks. And if the ad stops running for whatever reason, its value quickly goes down. In a nutshell, if you want to look at the ads that have historically done well, look at the ad strength number. And if you want to look at the ads that are doing well currently, then look at the gravity. On the screen, you will see a link that explains the difference between these two numbers in more detail. Feel free to take a look at it. Next to that is a heart icon, which basically allows you to save the creative in your favorites list. You just need to click on it, and it will basically save this creative in your favorites list, and you can revisit this creative in the future at your convenience. Below that, you will see labels. In this case, you see the label of the ad network, Taboola being the ad network in this case. And there can be other labels next to it, such as the tracker. If there is a third-party tracker that's being used for this creative, we will show you the label for that. If the ad turns out to be an affiliate ad, then you may also see an affiliate network label. Next to it, you see an icon which basically will tell you what kind of device was targeted for this particular ad. In this case, it is a mobile device. And then below that, you will see the country, of course, represented by a flag. Now let's see how you can actually search and filter the creatives and find the campaigns and creatives that you are actually interested in finding. So let's focus on the top filter drop down menu bar, which you can see here on the screen. It has multiple drop downs and it allows you to select one of the filters from each of these drop down menus. So when I click on ad network, I see all the ad networks that we have in the system here, and you can select any one of them. And I'm going to just to show you some data, I'm just going to select Rev Content here, and what it does basically is that it shows you ads only from Rev Content, as you can see on the screen here. And besides that, there is one additional feature that I would like you to see, and that's the label that is created right here on the screen. This basically tells you that a filter is currently applied to all the results, and it just is a visual notification of the filter that you have selected. Let's select one more filter here, and let's select Germany as a country filter. And now what it does is basically it applies two filters, one being the ad network filter, which is set to Rev Content, and the country filter, which is set to Germany. So now it is showing the ads from Germany which are running on Rev Content. So again, you see an additional label being created here on the screen. One of the useful features of these labels is that you can actually selectively disable any of these filters. So for example, if I disable Rev Content filter label here, what it is going to do is it's going to remove this filter from the search results. So now what essentially happens is basically you will see the results that are being served to all the German users from all the different ad networks, not just Rev Content. Hopefully this kind of clarifies the idea of using filters and labels. Now let's try one more filter here. Let's go to the language drop down here and select German as a language filter. Now, of course, what it does is it will only give me ads that are being presented to German users and that are in German language, as you can see on your screen. One of the things that I want to point out here is that you can only select one filter at a time from any of these drop-down menus. For example, if I were to disable this German language filter for time being, so now the results page contains all the ads that are being served to German users in multiple languages. To select another country filter, let's say United States, what's going to happen is that the German filter or Germany filter will be disabled, and instead what you will see is ads being shown in the United States only. So what if you want to see ads from United States and Germany at the same time? How do you do that? Well, it's certainly possible, but not using these drop-down menus. We have an advanced search feature here, which I'll cover in one of the future videos, and that will show you exactly how to do that kind of search where you can have multiple parameters. Let's look at one of the other drop-down menu here, which is a sorting drop-down. This particular drop-down allows you to actually sort the results in various different ways, as you can see on the screen. Just to demonstrate this particular sorting feature, I'm going to just select duration sorting method, which basically allows you to sort the ads by the duration or for how long they have been running. And I'm going to select duration descending, which basically shows you the longest running ads at the top of the page, and that's what you will essentially see here. So you have two filters being applied right now, one filter being the country filter, which is set to USA, and the other one is the sorting filter, which basically sorts the ads by its duration, and with the longest running ads being at the top, as it's a descending order filter. Hopefully this clarifies the idea of how to apply the filters to your results and how to use selectively use labels to disable some of the filters. One of the other features that I want to show you here is the reset all button that you see. What it does is basically it resets all the filters and brings the status of the platform into its default state. So let's click on that. What it's going to do is remove all the filters, and it's going to bring us back to where we were before. Now below these drop down filters, you will see several sliders. These sliders basically allow you to control the parameters that have numerical values associated with them. So we have 4 different sliders here. The first one is the days running slider, which basically allows you to filter your results by changing the days running value to whatever value you want. The second slider is the Alexa rank slider, which basically allows you to filter the results by the Alexa rank of the landing page domain. This filter can be used to remove some of the low Alexa rank results. For example, some of the big brand advertisers, for example, can be removed using this particular filter. The next slider is the ad strength slider, which is basically the ad strength parameter that I explained earlier, and it allows you to actually control the values of that parameter and filter out the results that you don't want. And the last one being the gravity slider, which basically allows you to adjust the value of the ad gravity, and it's similar in functionality to the ad strength slider. Let me show you a quick demonstration of how to use these sliders. Let's say I want to find ads from MGID ad network, so I'm going to use that filter, and then I want to only look at the ads that are using a third-party tracker, and I have several different options here in terms of which tracking filter or tracker I can use. I'm going to select all for this particular search. So what it does is it shows me all the MGID ads that are using a third-party tracker. Now let's adjust one of these sliders here. I'm going to use the days running slider here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set that to about 30 days, for example. So I just set it up to 31 days here. What it is done is basically it's going to show me the ads that are currently running on MGID, which is using a third-party tracker, and it's running for at least 30 days on MGID. So this kind of gives you a demonstration of how to use this filter to find out some of the ads that you might be interested in and have been running for multiple weeks that have been doing well. Now let me show you some of the other aspects of the user interface. On the screen you also see a search box. The search box allows you to do a simple text search. For example, you can enter a keyword here. I'm going to type in weight loss, for example, and just hit enter key. What it does is basically it looks for that keyword in the text that is associated with each creative and tries to find the ads that have an exact match, and you can see the results right here. We can again also do searches for domain names of the advertiser. For example, I can type something like babbel.com, which is a language translation software app. And what it does is it essentially shows you the results of all the ads that are being directed to babbel.com domain. So hopefully this gives you some basic understanding on how to use text search features on this platform. I'm going to go ahead and reset this search. And I want to point towards one more user interface feature. That's the advanced search button that you see on your screen. Clicking on this button opens a new dialog box where you can specify all the parameters for your advanced search per functionality. This is a very powerful feature, and I'm going to go into the details of this in another video, but for now we'll just wanted to show you what the where to find the advanced feature dialog box. I also wanted to share with you a couple of other UI aspects. One of them is the drop down menu under your username. It has several different options here. Some of them are pretty obvious, but there are some very powerful features that are kind of hidden in this particular menu, and I'll be covering them in future videos. But for now, I just wanted to point these options out to you guys. One last thing I want to cover before ending this video is how to get support from us. The easiest way to get in touch with us is to click on the chat box button at the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and by clicking this button you will either get in touch with me or one of our support persons, and we are usually available live from Monday to Friday, California time 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. If we are not online, we'll try our best to give you an answer within 24-hour period once you post your question or issues here. So I would encourage you to ask us questions if you run into any problems or if you have any issues. So that's it, folks. So I'm going to end this video here. Hopefully you got an idea about some of the basic features of Anstrex and on how to get started. In the future we will cover more topics in more detail. Until then, cheers.